The village of Umunnechi in Anambra was no ordinary place. Tucked between lush green hills and a winding river that sparkled under the sun. It was a land blessed with fertile soil, abundant harvest, and peace that the others envied. The people believed that their blessings was a gift from Ekejiuba, the goddess of the river. They offered sacrifices every year, thanking her for her protection. But what no one knew was that their true protector walked among them, living a life of secrecy and sacrifice. Her name was Ujunwa. Ujunwa was the daughter of a humble palm wine tapper, known for her beauty and quiet nature. She spent most of her days by the river, weaving baskets and humming songs. Her mother taught her before she passed. To the villagers, she was just another girl. Though many whispered that there was something extraordinary about her. How her eyes glowed like the moon when she smiled. How her touch seemed to heal wounds, and how despite her simple life, she carried herself like loyalty. But Ujunwa had a secret so dangerous that revealing it could cost her own life. Years ago, when Ujunwa was just a baby, the priestess of the Ekejiuba shrine, Mama Ifeoma, had a vision. In it, she saw a great war coming to Umunnechi, a war that would destroy everything. The goddess appeared to her and said, "I will send my daughter to protect this land. She will be born as a human, but she will carry my spirit. She must never be harmed, for her death will bring calamity." That daughter was Ujunwa. Unbeknownst known to the villagers, Ujunwa was no ordinary girl. She was a snake princess, a rare being born with the ability to shift between human and serpent form. Every full moon, she would sneak out of her father's hut and slip into the river, her body shimmering as she transformed into a massive python with golden scales. In this form, she patrolled the village, warding off evil spirits, chasing away thieves, and protecting the people from unseen dangers. Her father, Nnanna, was the only human who knew her secret. He loved her fiercely, though he often worried about the burden she carried. Ujunwa, he said, holding her hands as they sat under the moonlight, "Why must it be you? You deserve to live freely like every other girl, to marry, to laugh without fear." But Ujunwa would smile softly and reply, "Papa, the goddess chose me for a reason. If I don't protect these people, who will?" For years, Umunnechi thrived under Ujunwa's quiet guardianship. Crops flourished, livestock multiplied, and the people slept soundly at night. But as the years passed, greed and envy began to creep into the hearts of the villagers. One of the loudest voices was Obika, a wealthy trader who had grown tired of years of sacrifice to Ekejiuba. "Why must we waste our yams and goats on a goddess we have never seen?" He would shout during the village meetings. "It is our hard work that brings us wealth, not some river spirits." Despite the warnings of Mama Ifeoma, who urged the people to remain faithful, Obika's words began to spread. Soon, others joined. His choice, questioning the old ways and refusing to offer sacrifices. Ujunwa watched in silence, her heart heavy with worry. She could sense the goddess's anger building, like storm clouding gathering at the horizon. But she also knew she could not force the people to believe. All she could do was continue her silent vigil, hoping to protect them from the consequences of their actions. One fateful night, As Ujunwa prepared to leave her hut for her nightly patrol, she felt a strange unease. The air was thick, and the usually gentle river seemed to roar like something beast. Her instincts told her that something was wrong. As she slithered through the village in her snake form, she caught sight of a group of men near the edge of the river. Among them was Obika, holding a machete. They were digging a pit, muttering curses against Ekejiuba. "The goddess has done nothing for us," Obika sneered. "Let her come and prove herself if she dares." Ujunwa's heart raced. She knew the goddess would not take such deviance lightly. But before she could act, one of the men turned and saw her. "A snake!" he shouted, raising his machete. The men lunged at her, their blades flashing in the moonlight. Ujunwa dodged and weaved, her golden scales glittering as she tried to escape. But as she moved, Obika's eyes widened in recognition. "This is no ordinary snake," he said, a wicked smile spreading across his face. "This is the guardian they speak of. Kill it and the goddess will have no power over us." Ujunwa fought with all her strength, but she was outnumbered. The men cornered her near the riverbank, their machetes striking again and again and again. Her golden scales were sleek with blood as she let out a final heart-wrenching cry, a sound that echoed through the night and reached the ears of her father. Nana ran to the river, only to find his daughter's lifeless body lying in the mud, her human form restored. He fell to his knees, his cries piercing the still night. The villagers gathered, their faces pale as they realized what had happened. Mama Ifoma arrived, her eyes blazing with fury. "What have you done?" she shouted. "Do you not understand? She was our protector. Her death will bring ruin upon us all." But it was too late. The damage had been done. The very next day, the skies darkened and the river began to rise. Crops withered in the fields and the strange illnesses swept through the village. Wild animals ventured into the streets, attacking livestock and children. The people of Umunnechi were plunged into chaos. Their once thriving village now a place of fear and despair. Nana, consumed by grief, buried his daughter by the river, marking her grave with a simple stone. He spent his days sitting by her resting place, whispering apologies to the goddess and praying for forgiveness. But the goddess remained silent. The people soon realized they had made a terrible mistake. They begged Mama Ifoma for guidance, but even she did not know how to undo the curse that had befallen upon them. The village of Umunnechi was no longer a land of peace and plenty. The sky stayed dark, the river overflowed, and the once fertile fields became barren. The villagers lived in fear, haunted by strange noises at night and mysterious illnesses that no healer could cure. Obika, the man who had led the attack on Ujunwa, was the first to suffer. His wealth turned to ashes, literally. One morning, his yam barn caught fire without explanation. His goats were found dead, and his family fell sick with a fever that no herbs could heal. Rumors spread that Ujunwa's spirit was roaming the village, seeking vengeance. "It's her cause," whispered the villagers, their voices trembling. "We killed the one sent to protect us, and now the gods are punishing us." One night, Mama Ifeoma summoned the villagers to the shrine of Ekejiuba. The people came in droves, desperate for answers. They knelt before the priestess, their faces pale with fear. "I warned you," Mama Ifeoma thundered, her voice echoing through the shrine. "The goddess sent Ujunwa to protect us, and you repaid her with betrayal and bloodshed. Now the land is cursed, and the only goddess that can lift this curse is dead. What must we do?" A woman cried, clutching her sick child. "What can we do? Oh, please, oh." "The goddess will not forgive easily," Mama Ifeoma said, her voice heavy with sorrow. "You must prove your repentance. Go to Ujunwa's grave and beg her spirit for forgiveness. Offer sacrifices, not of goats or yams, but of your pride and greed. Only then might the goddess hear your cries." The villagers gathered at the river bank, where Ujunwa was buried. Nana sat by her grave, his face hallowed with grief. He had not left her side since her death. Mama Ifeoma instructed the people to kneel and pour out their hearts. One by one, they came forward, confessing their sins. "I doubted the goddess," a man said, his voice trembling. "I followed Obika and turned my back on our protector. Forgive me, Ujunwa." "I mocked the sacrifices," a woman whispered. "I thought they were pointless. Forgive me, Ujunwa." Even Obika, now a shadow of his former self, crawled to the grave, his eyes red with tears. "I was wrong," he sobbed. "I killed you, and I brought this curse upon us. Please forgive me." As the villagers wept and prayed, the river suddenly grew calm. The roaring waters stilled, and a golden light appeared, shimmering above the grave. The villagers gasped as Ujunwa's spirit emerged from the golden light. She stood before them, radiant and otherworldly, her once gentle eyes filled with sorrow. "You betrayed me," Ujunwa said, her voice echoing like the wind. "I gave my life to protect you, and you repaid me with hatred. But I will not hold on to anger, for it is not of the way of the goddess." The people cried harder, their faces buried to the ground. "I will plead the goddesses to lift this curse," Ujunwa continued. "But know this, you must change your ways. Greed, envy, and pride have no place in Umunnechi. If you return to your old ways, the curse will return, and this time there will be no one to save you." The villagers promised to honor her memory, to restore their yearly sacrifices, and to live in harmony. The golden light around Ujunwa grew brighter, and her spirit ascended towards the heavens as she disappeared. The skies cleared, and the river returned to its gentle flow. Birds began to sing again, and the air felt lighter, as if the village had been reborn. Nana, still kneeling by her grave, whispered, "Thank you, my daughter. Thank you. May your soul rest in peace." The people returned to the shrine to offer sacrifices to Ekejiuba, this time with genuine gratitude. They built a small temple by the river in Ujunwa's honor, vowing never to forget her sacrifices. Years passed, and Umunnechi flourished once more. The story of Ujunwa, the snake princess who gave her life to protect her people, was told to every child in the village. Her name became a symbol of selflessness and courage, and her grave remained a place of pilgrimage. Obika, who had once led the charge against her, dedicated the rest of his life to serving the shrine, ensuring that the sacrifices were never neglected again. As for Nnanna, he spent his remaining years tending to the temple by the river, finding solace in the knowledge that his daughter's sacrifice had not been in vain. And though Ujunwa was gone, the people of Umunnechi often felt her presence, a gentle reminder of her presence, a gentle breeze by the river, a sudden glow in the moonlight, reminding them that she was still watching over them. And that is why the people of Umunnechi never harmed a snake whenever it came around. They treated all snakes like it was a goddess. Thank you for watching African Tales by Sharon. If you enjoyed this interesting tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell for more interesting tales like this. Till I come your way next time. Bye.